Yeah, actually, everything started. I can say like it was 24th of February. It was Thursday. It was like around, I don't know, like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. So I, just heard the sound of explosions somewhere, in our area. I haven't seen like anything actually, any like bombs or something like missiles, if I'm not mistaken, it's called. Actually, so I can't say we were actually evacuated like the government or anything like that. On our own, I was just like transported to my grandparents' house, which is in the rural area, because I'm living in a more like town type of place, so actually it was the 24th, even on that day. What's interesting, I left my like apartment in Kiev, in the like capital of Ukraine, on the 23rd. So I didn't like know anything about the war, but actually I had the feeling that something is wrong, and I just wanna see my parents. So I got like back home to my parents at 23rd and 24th. Everything started, and on 24th, I suppose it was like 9 a.m. We were just transferred to the rural area, so not to stay in the city because city is gonna be occupied. Yeah.
Could you like describe the situation before you left Kyiv?
Actually, everything was like pretty normal, I can say, because everyone was talking about that war is gonna begin on the 22nd. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah. Before I left Kiev, it was 23rd. Everything was totally fine, like 100% normal. Like most of the people were talking about, oh, this is like fake info about the war because it like had to start actually on 22nd, and everyone was so positive about that nothing happening, and we're like so lucky and this all. But everything changed, and on the 24th, everything started. So actually, before I left Kiev, everything was like good. No one was really concerned about that. Only some rumors, only some kind of, not really reliable information was published. So actually, yeah.
Or were you not feeling like particularly nervous or anything? It was like more of a casual thing for you?
Yeah, actually, we were not really concerned about the situation. We're like, oh, okay, like 22nd, like Putin said that like 22nd of February will be the day we will start war against you. Like it's like some special operation, as he is thinking, I don't know, or even saying right now, even. So actually, nothing like. Yeah, for us it was like normal days. We were concerned about like our grades at the university and all of that, not about our marks, not the situation in Ukraine. Yeah, everything was pretty normal before that.
I was wondering, since the situation seemed to be like fairly normal at the time, why did you decide to like evacuate back to your parents' home?
I had just a feeling that I want to go home, not to stay in Kiev, because I also had like a day off at a university. So we have such a thing, like one day is kind of, for self-study, students work. So actually I was like, oh, okay, I just want to go home. Everything was pretty normal. And I'm like, okay, just like want to see my parents and maybe to come back to my apartment in Kyiv, like in a day or two. It was on the 23rd. Yeah. So actually I was not aware of anything like that will happen. So yeah, I can't say it was an evacuation because it can be classified as evacuation if I like left home on the 24th, but actually I left the day before, so it was just traveling, going back to my parents, visiting them.
Do you feel pretty like relieved that you ended up leaving the Kyiv before like the situation got worse?
Yeah, of course, because I can say that if I like left the day like after on the 24th, it will be a total would have been, I don't know, I'm sorry for my English, thank you, I'm not thinking about it right now. Yeah, actually it would be a bit worse. And really difficult to get out of Kiev because everyone on the 24th on the morning, during the morning and afternoon, everyone was trying to get out of Kiev and to evacuate to some other region, to rural area mostly. And I was pretty relieved that I've left the day before, when everything was like really peaceful and kind of normal.
Currently, is it difficult for people to leave Kyiv right now?
Uh-huh. Yeah, actually, I like only 3 or 4 of my friends, my group mates, live in Kyiv right now. They are in, in the borders of Kyiv as a city. To leave, yeah, actually, because now Kyiv is kind of in total, fights, combats all over the city, because of the air alarm, and Russian helicopters are constantly flying over some of the areas, in some of the districts. I can say it's really difficult to people, safety, because of the safety measures, also because of the curfew, to leave the city. And actually, only 3 or 4 of my classmates are staying there because they are living there. Yeah, all of them, or some of us live kind of in, I can say, suburbs, or I don't know. So in the nearest distance to Kiev, actually, in towns or small cities near Kiev, which is it's pretty dangerous also, because of the when there is a bombing of Kiev, the bombs on Kiev, so the city is also attacked in some way. Yeah, by Russian military forces.
You mentioned that there's a curfew. What time is that at?
Now it's actually from 7, let me think, 10 p.m. until 7 a.m. Yeah, now it's like this one. But on the weekend, it was from the 10 p.m. of Saturday, no, from the 10 p.m. of Friday to the 8 a.m. of Sunday or something like that, because it was more than one day. Yeah, even, but now it's kind of stable one. It's from 10 p.m. of one day to 7 a.m. of the next day. So it's a curfew for Kiev right now. And everyone who is without any special card, or just walking by in this curfew hours, can be, how's it, is actually has a tag of an occupant, so the police is on an alarm here. So it's dangerous for people, just for civilians. I can say that it's kind of dangerous for civilians to stay outside their houses or shelters at the curfew hours, during the curfew hours. Yeah, was it scary? For me, not really, because I'm not in Kyiv right now, and I understand that it's only a safety measures. It's scary to understand that there are so many people around you, and if you are out of some shelter at this time, you can be killed. Yeah, it is really scary. So actually, but for me right now, I'm it's really okay, and I understand that it's just a safety measures. So I need to understand that, because government trying to do like something to protect us. So, and I think it's kind of reasonable, like in this situation.
How far and for how long do you think this situation will continue?
I just pray for the best. I don't want to think that it will last for more than a few months, actually, because now I see a lot of support from European countries, from their how is that? Yeah, actually from all the European countries, but from the United States as well, that somehow help our country also to help us to defend ourselves. Actually, I can't predict or like, it's hard to me to foresee something, to say that it will like end in like month or more. But I really, I just hope that everything will be better, everything will be peaceful and normal, like less than in a month. Really, it can be naive. I can be naive, but actually, I just wanna all of that to, I have my birthday in April, so actually, I just want to celebrate my 19th birthday in some peaceful atmosphere, not just hearing all this bombs and all the things, explosions. So actually, I just wanna think that it will last for a few days or few weeks longer, no more. Yeah, actually, it's really great things that they are helping us, and actually these countries understand that we are not aggressor here, but victims more. So it's really pleasant, like it's such a warm feeling that other nations, like other countries, supporting like as me personally, and my all the people of Ukraine, because it's a really warm feeling. It's an understanding that the truth is on our side, and we are not like aggressors, not the one who just holding our weapons to in not an aggressive way. So actually, we are just defending ourselves, because we are a country that have its sovereignty, its borders, and like it's actually its culture and language and history, and we are not a part of Russia, as most of the people thought until like 2014, and it's a shame that so many people thought about that in such a way. So actually, it's I'm really grateful for like every European Union country, every country in the world that is helping us or supporting in some way, for all the people in the government, all the people who supported us, but their government like doesn't. For example, like Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, the government like doesn't want to support Ukrainians, like Ukraine in this war. They're taking our side actually, but the people taking our side. All these like protests, all these meetings, it just gives me a feeling of being a part of this global community, and knowing that we are not alone in this situation. And I can say it's pretty helpful because most of the countries helping us financially, and also in like their transporting weapons to us, because we are trying to defend ourselves, our borders, like just our country. We have, I can say, like a great army, a really brave people, but don't have that capacity that all like European countries, all these nations has. Not the technological progress also. So actually, it's a relief that so many people are like supporting us, so many countries supporting us.
So currently, especially here in America, a really big like hot topic has been American interference. And so like, what are your thoughts about America interfering in this conflict? Like, would you want it, and to what extent?
Mm-hmm. First I want to mention I'm not a politician. I'm not a person who is really great in this international affairs stuff. I'm just like a regular person, a civilian, a student, 18-year-old girl, but I have a position in all of that. I can say that I know that, US president said that he will not like, and the NATO, this alliance, not closing the sky over Ukraine, actually. We're trying to like sign all these petitions and to make the thing a hot topic for like everyone to close the sky over Ukraine to protect civilians firstly from this how is it like missiles, all these things. But actually, what can I say? If I'm not mistaken, we got some aid like in financial and like financial sphere and something connected to like weapons from the US. I'm not sure actually what we exactly got from your country, but of course most of us think that if like kind of American like armed forces will defend us, it will be great. But we also understand that it's not how international law and this kind of thing works, because we are not a part of NATO, like of this transatlantic alliance. So we can't like okay, I don't know, like this regulatory legislative framework and all the thing. So it will be great. I can say like as a like a regular person, it will be great if they like some US forces with this kind of really developed new technological stuff, which is when we're talking about weapons, helps us in some way. But if you are just supporting us, not with army, but with some like financial aid or humanitarian aid, it's like super great. It's like we will be also like really grateful for that. I don't know what is going on like on this international relation kind of field. But just people that support even like a minimal one is gives a warm feeling of not being alone, not feeling alone. So yes, yeah, sounds a bit stupid, but everything that I can say from that point, because I'm not into the topic really.
A lot of our readers are students, and so you're also a student too. So I was wondering, like, what is something that we ourselves can do to help out the situation?
To help the situation. Oh, actually, we can start from sharing the info about all these funds that are kind of raising some like aid for the soldiers, for the troops on the border in Ukraine. So actually, first is to become aware of the situation, I can say. Secondly, also like just to share that info, to show your kind of support. Maybe some, not I can't say like as a protest, but it's meetings or that stuff that kind of show us that you're supporting us. You're our proponents, not the opponents. Actually, what else can students do? Yeah, maybe I don't know, like donate if you want to. Like no pressure actually to anything I'll say. I suppose like this minimal support, just sharing the info, sharing some like helpful links, or about donations also, just supporting in such a way, like informationally, will greatly help, because more and more people will become aware of the situation, of these like horrible things. Because all this kind of Russian media are trying to convey the message that Ukrainians are fighting with themselves, and that's why people like in other countries especially have to be aware of the situation from like both sides and from our side also. So yeah, so just sharing, useful links and all that stuff. I can't say that US can, to host the refugees because you're like too far from Ukraine, and only that countries that have some common borders with Ukraine can help in this situation. But just like spreading that info is really helpful. Yeah. um, yeah, actually, thanks for that question. I've never thought about that like for the last few days. Actually, yeah, at this moment, I'm staying with my grandparents and with my parents in this rural area, which is actually like 60 kilometers, 70, 60 kilometers far from Kyiv. It's not a, not a big deal. Like for, you know, for tanks and all those things. Actually, yeah, we're planning to stay here because the situation is kind of in our like village. It's stable, we can say. So nothing really. It's not like a hot area. Like right now here, of course, we have this air alarm. I don't know how many times a day. But actually, we're start to getting used to that. It's horrible, like to think about, but we're just living with that. Because the situation is kind of stable in the village, and when we are staying here, we will not. We will like. We don't think we will move somewhere or evacuate to another country. We were thinking about that, like the first few days, like first, second, maybe third day, because all the news about the like how huge Russian army is and how fast it is like moving towards Kiev and all to our area was really horrible, and we were stressed out, and everything everything felt like we were like that feeling that you may be killed. It's not a feeling I want to like to have at 18. Um, so actually, yeah, we are staying here, and we are staying in Ukraine. I can say in such a way, maybe we can like support all the Ukrainians that don't have financial like ability to move out of Ukraine to move to another city, or because like Western, yeah, of course we were able. I can say like 2 days ago we were planning to three. We were planning to go to Western regions of Europe, where everything is a bit, it's more peaceful, I can say, but not now. But the road to the west will be horrible, and we needed someone, some man to like just convey us there. But my father and my uncle, they are, it, at that age, from like we have this age range from 18 to 60, so they can't cross the borders of the countries, and can't cross actually the borders of kind of regions, I can say, because they may be kind of mobilized if everything will get worse. So yeah, we are staying here and just hoping for the best, because at one point it will end. It will end with with a truce, or with our with us as winners, because I believe that nothing else can help.
Do you plan on taking up arms too? Like a lot of people, like in case the Russians come closer to where you're at?
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening right now on the 6th day of this full-scale war. Yes, it's known as like territorial defense. I can say all these people you're speaking of. Speaking about, yeah, actually it's known as territorial defense, like men from like kind of 18 to 60 mostly, who are not mobilized into the army. they now, so they are not into this armed forces of Ukraine. You know, they are taking their weapons. If Russians are going like closer, moving closer and closer, it's present. Like this movement is present in most, like in the biggest cities of Ukraine, and also in some, you know, villages. We have this such thing known as like block post. Block post is like a blocking mechanism, we can say. So for example, we are now like in this village, and we have like 2 block posts on there, like when you enter and when you kind of exit the village on this on the main roads. So there are some like people who are there like 24 hours, 7 days in a week, just monitoring the situation. And in the case of Russians moving, you know, closer to us, they will fight them in the first place, and also to convey the information, just call us, call other people, call civilians, to you know, to warn us that Russians are coming. Yes, actually about cocktails of like Molotov cocktails, I can say it can be translated. It's like oil, or it's made from, I can say oil. You can just Google the recipe actually, what is in here. But here we're doing that because it's one of the ways to kind of make tank, like Russian tank, to stop the work of that. Yeah, when you just fire the cocktail and, you know, throw that, so every vehicle can be, you know, destabilized in such way.
So like what are your thoughts about Putin, you know, from Russia versus the Russians? You know, a lot of people, like, do you separate that? Do you have a certain view about Putin, the leader of Russia, versus the Russia? You know, because like right now, I'm not sure if you heard the news, like you mentioned earlier, I think like there are like the Russian sports teams can't compete, like because people are saying that, oh, because your leader did this, now we're not going to let you compete in these different things. And then now, because your leader did this, we are doing these sanctions that are, you know, that affects your money and your currency and your shopping. Do you feel the same thing, or do you feel like it's, how do you view, do you group the Russians all together as one group, or do you feel like it's just Putin himself that you have a certain opinion toward?
Yeah, I have my opinion on that. Actually, I think we have to distinguish like Russians who are kind of, I'm sorry, they're like who like Putin actually and his policies and all the things, and people who actually don't. Because in Russia, I have relatives. Actually, I have relatives in Russia. I can fairly say, and these people understand what is going here, what is going on actually right now. But there are some people who are, and there are some activists, as you can say, there are protests in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, that there are a lot of people who are, I can say more than 1,000 of people who were actually put into jail right now because of all the things, because they were protesting, just, you know, peaceful protests. Well, this was in Ukraine in 2014. Actually, yeah, I just have to say that we need to distinguish that we have people who support the regime, who think that, oh, Putin the best, he's the greatest leader, like let's go Russia and all the things. These people, I just don't understand their position actually, and all of these opinions, and how they can believe in all the things that like this, like make Russia great again. It's horrible. Yeah, so and I know there are supporters of the Ukrainian side, and actually the side of the most of the world.
So can you say, like, how do you view, what's your opinion of Putin?
Yeah, what I'm, you know, when I hear his like surname, I'm just like, it's a mix of, I don't know, I'm confused about his figure a bit, because, you know, he's a really cruel person. And I just don't understand how just like a regular human being can be so cruel and like just to create this regime in like 2022 in the 21st century. Actually, like, what is going on with this person? Is he like, I don't know. Germans, if I'm not mistaken, Germans say, one of the German doctors said that he's like actually mentally ill, because you know, he's just a person who somehow wants to, you know, to kill the nation, to make kind of the like Russian Empire, I don't know, or Soviet Union, or what kind of organization he wants to like found one more time. And I just don't understand him. Yeah, you know, the first like few days I was like, I was in anger. I hated him a lot, and this feeling is now like inside me, is also burning. But at the same time, I just wanna not to think about his figure, not as a politician, not as a person even, and trying not to like mention him, because I just don't want this feeling to, you know, to grow in something like in some really hate, or in some other, some worse feeling, because you know I'm a Christian, so I'm Orthodox Christian, so I just want to pray for just everyone, for both sides, for soldiers from both sides. I understand that this person from like Russian army, from our army, some of them are I just, you know, just regular people, and all that killed, like, you know, young men, especially because lots of young men are in the Russian army that have been killed in the Ukrainian territory. And I just don't want even to think about all that feelings that their family now, you know, all that they feel. So I just understand that, you know, it's this person I hate. I hate him. I can say that, yeah, I hate him, and there is an anger inside me towards his name.
Is he worried about his safety there then in Russia as a Ukrainian?
Mm-hmm.
Is he worried about his own safety there in Russia?
No, actually, no. He said that like everyone, he was worried when it was like 2014, you know, at that period when everything started on the east of Ukraine, because everyone was like looking at him like, oh, you're like Ukrainian, like something like, you know. But now he's like, I don't know, maybe because it's like about 10 years, so he's settled there, and everyone in his like circle of communication around him is known that he is Ukrainian, and everything is okay there. So there is no hate on this like ethnical basis, I can say.
Is he trying to get you to safety or something like that? Or?
You know, the first thing he said to me that he doesn't watch like Russian TV, actually, because everyone is pretty good like there, because like everything is normal, and for them it's only like a special like military operations to like to free the people from Ukrainian government. So actually, yeah, he is worried. He is worried about our family, because he is like constantly in contact with my mom. They are like brother and sister. So yeah, he's worried about everything that is happening, not about like him, because everything is on their territory is okay. And he's worried about like what is happening right now in Ukraine, what is like the true state, like true current state.
And then if there's one thing you can say to Zelensky, what would you say? And then if there's one thing you can say to Putin, if you had a chance to talk to him, what would you say? So one thing you would say to Zelensky, one thing you would say to, what would you say to them?
To Zelensky, I would say thank you. Thank you. Just I really appreciate all the efforts you do, because like just you know, even one word like thank you for everything. I'll just thank you, because I know what this person is going through. So it's horrible things like managing the government, like the government managing the country in such a situation. Yeah, with Putin, it's I I I just don't know what to say to him, actually. I just don't wanna see him. Like if you ask that like to my grandfather, he would say that yeah, my grandfather would just immediately kill him, I can say, actually, because all that hate, all that anger is in my grandfather, because he is worrying about all their family, you know, his like children, grandchildren. But for me, I just don't want to see him even. I have nothing to say to the person, you know, to the person, to the murderer, actually, who killed like a lot of people.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to say stop, like stop, you know, like don't do it, like you know, it's not worth it to kill all these lives. Would that be okay? Would you want to say something like that or not?
It's a really interesting question, you know, because I just, you know, you say words stop to a person, uh, you're expecting some, you know, some answer to that, some reaction. You have this hope that this person would stop, but I don't believe in that. That if someone, even I don't know, even his own like daughters will say to his father, to their father, like stop, he will not. So I don't believe in that actually. So there are some people who will have some influence on him. I don't think so. They may just suggest something, but not just to stop all of that. It's impossible for me.
You like you also mentioned that you wouldn't be leaving Ukraine, but do you know anyone that is planning on doing that or has done that?
Yeah, actually, as a part, yeah, I'm not like a student, but a part of youth-run organization, you know, volunteer organization, so ISIC in Ukraine, and a few of my, you know, peers, they are kind of thinking about moving from Ukraine, so their parents actually insist upon that. So not so many people from my, you know, like circle of communication of my like friends or, you know, relatives, not so many of them left Ukraine. Actually, a few of my acquaintances, uh, like, yeah, only like I know personally like 3 people maybe, so who are actually now somewhere like in Poland. Oh no, actually, yeah, 2 of my relatives. It's kind of it's hard to yeah, okay, just you know, actually up to 5 people. I don't know, so who actually left Ukraine. Yeah, they are in Moldova and in Poland.
And most people that you know in Russia are definitely against the conflict.
Yeah, I can say that, yes, most, because like I had only actually my uncle's family like in Russia, and maybe like if you not a few acquaintances, I can say, so people I met like once maybe. So they are aware of all the situation that is happening, and they not only reading or watching their Russian news, but also like the global ones, so like global resources and Ukrainian ones as well. So they are against this conflict, actually against this war. It's not actually a conflict. I can say it no more.
Do you think that like what people's public opinion is regarding the war can influence what Putin will decide to do regarding the situation?
I can say they have no impact on that, because their country is not a democracy anymore. Everything is, you know, under one person. Actually, he's like, I can say like Putin is like a monarch in in Russia, an absolute one. So actually, yes. So like, you know, so many people actually know about this conflict, know about both sides. All these protests, uh, they are like suppressed, if I'm not mistaken, the word, like, or oppressed. So you can see from the situation that none of these peaceful protests were heard. Actually, none of that. Yeah, so maybe some influence on, like, I don't know, maybe his like closest surrounding makes some impact on him, but I actually don't believe in that, because as I said, like to a teacher, I don't think that someone has some influence of that person. Because if someone had, I suppose, even if one person or like his children or his, I don't know, closest family will say anything to him, they must have said that until this moment, but like not now. Nothing can stop him, I can say.
So,
It's actually an interesting case in like modern world, because all these peaceful people from the meetings, from the protests, they are just like most of them are into jail right now. So
so like how does hearing all of these like bombings and planes and aircrafts, like how does that make you feel?
actually nervous a lot, all this like anxiety and all the things. It's just a fear, I can say it's some instinct like nature wants. Just a fear. It just like today it was like an ear alert, and like our house kind of was trembling a bit. So the first thing that just like popped up in my mind, I'm like, okay, just like put yourself in your arms. And the one thing, I just needed to concentrate. So I just, the one feeling that is you're coming like nervous, really nervous, and you just wanted to concentrate, but everything is like so messed up in your head, and there's a fear, a wild fear, a fear of like being killed at some moment. Yeah, it's a fear of being killed.
And I'm sorry, I'm gonna come back again. Hi. So have you thought about like that you might die? I know it's a sad thing to ask you, but like,
Yeah.
you worry that the Russians might come into my own village maybe, and then, or if there's a new regime, they might come and so are you worried about your own life or?
Yeah, I am. I'm worried for my life, for the life of my family, for the life of my relatives, because not everyone is here. So I also have my grandparents in the south of Ukraine, and today there were a lot of battles in the city center of the city where my other pair of grandparents live. And like my grandma has COVID and all the things, and she just need to stay in this bomb shelter, and I just and the electricity is off, and everything is so messed up, and yeah, we're worried. I'm worried about myself. I'm worried about people around me, about everyone actually, because yeah, we just understand that at some point the Russians will come too close, and they can do. And now they fight. First day they were trying to eliminate their military objects, strategic objects. But now they are killing civilians. You can see what's happening in Kharkiv. It's like south of Ukraine, not south. I'm sorry, east of Ukraine. So they just kill civilians, just like as not as people, but as just like animals, meat.